Hey guys, it's Robert Rowland again. Still sitting in traffic, obviously. Um, Fortunately, I did move about a mile, but I am closer to the accident here on the interstate. It's actually in my visual. They do have the whole interstate stopped currently. So it looks like I'm going to be here a little while before I can get to my destination. So I do have a little bit of time here to have another discussion. And quickly, what I want to talk about is, and I forgot, St. Patty's Day just passed this weekend, and me and my really close friend, we hung out and we had a couple drinks. I'm not a big drinker at all, never have been a big drinker, and he knows that I've been going through this recovery process, and he's been super supportive of everything that I've been going through. And he actually this weekend was like, Rob, man, things are a little bit or a lot different with you. Actually, he's like, he could tell in my demeanor, my patience when it comes to answering questions, when it comes to responding things. We went out briefly one afternoon because he had some friends in town from his college or whatever, and he wanted to meet up with them. And I was just like, sure, I'll go. Why not? It's been a while since I've gotten out and actually did anything. So we went out, and this place was packed. Everybody was just completely drunk, falling over the place, and I was getting bumped into left and right. And the old me, I've never really been big on huge crowds. Anyways, I get claustrophobic. But this particular scenario, there were people everywhere. Like, I looked to my left, there was somebody. Looked to my right, there was people behind me, people in front of me. Like, your steps were shrank. Like, you were literally shuffling to move inside this place. And I've got my buddy with me, and we're walking into this place, and we're in this place, and we're getting to the location. As friends said that they were. We finally arrive. I've probably got bumped into like 15 times, and people are drunk, so they're not saying sorry, but that's whatever. I probably bumped into a ton of people too, and I'm like, I'm sorry, because I'm one of the non-drunk people that's there. So we finally get to our destination, whatever, and people are just walking by us. Now we're standing still, and people are trying to get past us, and people are spilling their drinks on our clothes, our shoes, and it was just a big ordeal. And we have a drink, and finally we were just like, this place is just too packed. We're just gonna head to the house, and hang out there. So we come back to the house, and my buddy was just like, Rob, when we get back to the house, we're basically hanging out in the living room, and he's just like, dude, man, he's like, I'm impressed. Those are his exact words. And I was just like, what's going on? What do you mean? He's just like, you know, before you would have reacted a lot differently in that situation. You would have been really upset. You wouldn't have been laughing about things. You would have been, the look on your face would have been super uncomfortable. But while I was there, I kind of was smiling. I was kind of making jokes about what was going on. And I was just dealing with the situation a lot differently than the way I previously would have before I've gone through this whole recovery process. So that kind of led into the conversation of me being the narcissist, because he's been through this process with me, and he's one of my closest, dearest friends, and we started talking about narcissism and violence. And a lot of people have this stigmatism or this idea that all narcissists are violent people. And I would have to disagree with it. You know, maybe it's because I'm not a violent person when it comes to random people. I absolutely do protect the people that I care about and the people that are in my group, the people that I love. But I've never once ever put my hands on any woman that I've ever dated, been with, or had the desire or even thought of being physical with a woman ever in that capacity of physically abusing a woman. And in that part of the discussion that me and my buddy had, it was like from what he's hearing from some of the people that he knows is narcissist kind of leads into a physical abuse scenario when it comes to being in a relationship with a narcissist. And to me, I don't really see how it happens. I can see how one thing leads to another as far as the emotional abuse can kind of lead up to being more extreme in the emotional or verbal abuse side of things. I can absolutely see that. But as far as it being physical, I really don't see that, because to me, if you're a violent person, you're a violent person minus the narcissism. The narcissism label is separate to you being a physical abuser. Anybody can be a physical abuser. You can be the greatest person in the world and still be a physical abuser. To me, when it comes to physical abuse, you just are a physical abuser. Especially if you're going to physically abuse a woman as a man, you are a coward in my book to be in a position where you're going to physically hit a woman. It doesn't take a narcissist or the narcissist label to be a physical abuser. And that's where me and my buddy had the conversation. And when he was having conversations with some of his friends about narcissism and all these other things, and that's where him and his friends got into it, because he was just like, look, he believes also that physical abuse and narcissism don't go hand in hand, because he didn't say me directly. He knows me as an individual personally, and he knows that I wouldn't hurt a fly. You know, if you need me, I'm there for you 100%. However, he also knows that if you do something to hurt me as a man, I'm gonna do everything in my arsenal to take you down. But as far as me and a woman, or in a relationship with a woman, or a man hitting a woman, he's also seen me protect women at all cost. So I just wanted to kind of clarify the whole physical abuse and narcissism thing up a little bit, because I think there's a disconnect when it comes to narcissism and physical abuse, and how narcissism leads into physical abuse. And I think the people that are coming up with these ideas are people that are labeling guys or women narcissist, and then they happen to be abused physically abused by this person, you know, also. But I just kind of want to clarify that being physically abused has really absolutely nothing to do with them being a narcissist. Being physically abused by this person has something to do with them being a physical abuser. I don't think, and I'm only speaking from my personal experience. I could be completely wrong. You know, I'm probably going to start a YouTube ride or a podcast ride saying you're an idiot, you don't know anything. I don't know. I'm only speaking from how I feel inside. So I'm sorry if I'm upsetting anyone. I don't have all the answers. I'm just letting you guys know how I feel inside. through my whole narcissistic time, me being a narcissist and all the things that I've done, I've never once ever wanted to hit my partner physically. I've never once wanted to physically assault anyone that I've ever been with. It's just not in me as a person to physically harm anyone. Now, emotional abuse and all that stuff, I'm guilty of all of those things, but never once have I grabbed my partner or shoved my partner or hit my partner or cornered my partner or anything like that, or used my size or anything like that. That's just, I don't think that narcissism and physical abuse or narcissism leads into physical abuse. Now, like I said the whole time, if you are dealing with a narcissist and being physically abused by this narcissist, I don't think the narcissism has really a whole lot to do with that. That person's just a physical abuser that happens to be a narcissist as well. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone on that. That was not my intent. But what does bother me a little bit is how a lot of people are saying that all of these narcissists and sociopaths are physical abusers, and that is absolutely untrue. I've been dealing with narcissism pretty much my whole life, as I could remember, and I've never once hit a woman ever. I've never once gotten to the point where I didn't get my way or get what I wanted, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to use my size to physically get what I want. That's not how I was raised. So that's just not how it is. But us as narcissist guys, because of all of these things that are being said about the general idea of being a narcissist, we have to remember that we are still encountering, and people are still trying to figure out what this addiction really is. And no one can really identify, because no narcissist has really opened up and really told anyone what they're going through. And that's part of why I'm doing these podcasts now, so people can really understand what our mind thinks and how we process and program things on the inside of our brains. And it's difficult for me, at least, to really explain how things go inside my mind. I'm not an author, or anything like that. I'm just a normal Joe, that works just like everybody else, and dealing with an addiction, and trying to overcome an addiction. And for the people that don't know what we're going through as a narcissist, if we're coming to you as a narcissist and we're explaining to you, hey, we're trying to get help as a narcissist and we're trying to go through this, the narcissist is taking a really huge step by approaching you and saying, hey, I'm selecting you to help me through this situation right now. Can you please help me through this situation? Because as a narcissist, chances are we've probably lost a lot of friends. We're put in a big situation where we had no choice but to face whatever demon or monster that we created and address it. So, for the people that are listening, I appreciate it. I don't know if you really want to call that a rant or not, but I just wanted to clarify that narcissism and physical abuse, all narcissists aren't physical abusers. I strongly believe that physical abuse and narcissism are two separate things. Thanks for your time, guys. Traffic is moving. Have a great day.